Hello and welcome to our first ever Buncee event here based in India for Community Week here. I'm really excited to welcome you all, but before we officially get started, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. So my name is Ida Jimenez, where I have the pleasure of working with the Buncee team to be able to collaborate and connect with just different educators across the world, which is how we found ourselves in today's event. And so for today's event, our hope really is to be able to sort of bridge these different gaps of understanding in the ways that we're trying to support our students, especially in this new remote environment that we find ourselves in. And so for today's session, I'm really excited to be able to share our connections with different schools out in India so that we can help to better support you and your students as we move along this education journey together. And so with that, today's event is actually held in partnership with a few different schools. So first of all, it is the Alcon International School, as well as ZP High School based in Nanded. And so I'd love to welcome our partners to the screen here so that we'll be able to share a little bit about ourselves and how we've come here to convene together to be able to share our different understandings, our learnings, and hopefully be able to connect with all of you so that you have different ideas, strategies, and best practices that you can actually bring back to your own classroom, whether that's in person or remote, so that you'll be able to support your students. And so with that, I have my partners here in the screen, and I'd love to take a moment to go around the room here one by one to be able to introduce everyone. So Sir Sanjay, if you'd like to go first.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's really a wonderful opportunity. We know that we are all in this situation together, and there can be no better times than now when we can focus on our partnership, we can focus on our collaboration, because we all are passionate and we all have only one thing in our mind, that is our children. So how well can we engage them? How well can we make their life exciting and their learning journey, which never faced any lockdown at all? So thanks to partners like Buncee, thanks to wonderful educators on panel and the team members who have been working consistently, I'm really excited for the event.
Well, thank you for joining us. And Sir Sanjay, just to clarify too, is actually from the Alcon School as well. And equally said with Sir Ashok. So Sir Ashok, I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you. Your smile and happiness is spreading all across the world, Ida, I must tell you. And like Sanjay, I also work for Alcon International School. And maybe next time I'll bring our another school, Alcon Public School also. I'm Ashok Pandey. And since I had to say a few words little later, I'm reserving my energy for that. For now, congratulations to entire Buncee family all across the world.
Well, thank you for those kind words. And last but not least, I'd love to introduce Sir Anand, who is also based from Nanded. So Sir Anand, if you could take a moment to unmute and also share a little bit about yourself and the work that you all are doing.
Okay, ma'am. It's my pleasure to join this meeting, and I feel better, and all things going on are very new for me. As COVID-19 crisis goes on, all teachers and learners finding new ways to make their teaching and learning process entertaining. And in the same regard, Buncee is a better way to teach and learn enjoyfully. My best wishes to all Buncee team. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And honestly, my best wishes to all learners and students and educators across the world as well, especially here in India for today's event. And so I thank you all for this partnership. It's really very meaningful for us to be able to support not just you all, but also, the community that surrounds you all too, based in India. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's really such a pleasure for us to be able to collaborate, especially on an international scale. As I mentioned before, this is our first ever Community Week out here in India. So thank you to everyone for tuning in for it. And so with that, our hope is really to be able to share different strategies and ideas whether it is internationally or on a local level. But today our hope is not to just, sprinkle different thoughts on an international scale, but also make sure that we can actually understand ideas that we can take back on a local level, because what best supports our students are those that also are meaningful and also in place in the area that which you're learning. And so today's event is really focused on helping you as educators, especially in India, to be able to learn from very awesome, I have to admit, inspirational educators that have done amazing work to especially engage their students in a remote environment that we find ourselves in. But before we officially kick off, I actually wanted to pass the stage here to Sir Ashok, who has our opening statement for our first ever Buncee event. And so with that, Sir Ashok, I give you the stage.
Oh, thank you. You have not only given me the stage, you have given me a lifetime of happiness, Ida. May I also address to your CEO, Ms. Mari, my colleagues here, Sanjay, Anand, Sumedha, and Preeti, and the entire Buncee family in India and abroad. It is my absolute pleasure that I'm part of this maiden inauguration of Buncee Week in India. And what I can foresee will pave the way for the spread of Buncee and the potential that it offers to the educators and learners. On this occasion, I have a couple of reflections in my mind, and that reflection is the purpose of education is to enhance the learning attainment of children and to enhance the teachers' proficiency and productivity. I think Buncee comes as a very, very important tool in the hands of both children and the students and the parents and the teachers, so that their learning experience, engagement with learning, exploration with learning, and expressing themselves, all these three become very, very easy for them. The 21st century learning very clearly defines the domains. And the domains are that the children have to learn 4 C's: creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking on one hand. On the other hand, they have to be very, very proficient in information, design, and media skills. And the third one is they have to prepare themselves for life and career skills. I think for all these, in this era of technological evolution and revolution, we need products and tools like Buncee, which not only is just a medium of presentation, but it is a medium for content creation, sharing of the content, enhancing your knowledge from the mundane levels of just recalling and readjusting yourself, but to going up to the level of creativity, analysis, synthesizing, and the all higher order learnings. I am absolutely delighted that Buncee is one tool that offers all those facilities under one umbrella. I take this opportunity to congratulate the team in India, these 2 schools, Alcon International School and Zilla Parishad School in Vishnupuri, Nanded. I think it is a fantastic combination of one school set in an urban setting and the other one in the rural India. And that projects to the world as to how India is moving forward. And technological reach has reached to the remotest part of the country also. So with the combination of these 2 schools in the rural and urban area, and with your inaugural of this Buncee Week today at this particular moment, I am absolutely certain that Buncee is going to reach to every nook and corner of this great, vast, diverse country. Please accept my congratulations, and I take this opportunity to formally announce that the Buncee Week in India is formally inaugurated and opened. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Sir Ashok. So well said. And I have to say that, again, this is our start to a partnership, but I'm hoping for us to be able to, collaborate more and more in the future so that we can also make sure to engage our students, no matter what that context is that we find ourselves in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And thank you so much again for joining us and sharing those amazing words.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Exactly. And so with that, I'm really excited to really kick off today's learning with our two amazing guest presenters here, or actually the head of the program rather than guest itself. But our two head of programs is really Mam Sumedha Sodhi, as well as Mam Preeti Kantaki from Nanded. So our hope here together is to be able to connect us in different ways. So actually Sumedha and Preeti have also met through Twitter as well as myself. So it's great for us to be able to get to know one another and come to this point where we're hoping to be able to share different strategies like we've been doing on social media, but at the same time, also with other educators that we're hoping to connect with. And so with that, I'm excited to pass you both the stage. But before I do, I just wanted to, first of all, share my appreciation again to both of you, because it's funny to me, we've met each other some weeks ago, and we've come to the point of getting to know each other on such a close level that it's been such an inspiration for me to be able to hear about both of your work, see you across your journey. In addition to that, see both your kids as well as your own students, what they've been able to achieve with you and, through your thought leadership. So thank you so much for joining us today. And so with that, I'm very excited to pass you both the stage here to help kick us off.
Oh, thank you so much. We are so excited for the Buncee India Week. Thank you, Ida, for giving the platform to us. It's a wonderful opportunity. And Buncee has given a voice not only to us as educators, but also to our students. And this is how we think that Buncee should be used by each and every educator and student just to spark creativity. And it is a great collaboration tool which helps us to connect with our students, with our parents, even in the remote learning situation. So I'm so excited for the session. Thank you.
So let's start with Sumedha's presentation. I'm eagerly waiting for your presentation.
Okay, so thank you, Preeti ma'am. I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Medha, actually. Ida here. So I just wanted to take a moment, if you don't mind. I actually wanted to share a little bit about, before we kick off with the event, I wanted to share a little bit about our giveaways for tuning in.
Okay, sure, ma'am. I'm just putting my screen share.
So give me a second here. So thank you again for joining us, but let me just clarify a few different things, especially as we get started for this week. So as I share my screen over here, so what you should be able to see my screen here, but like I've mentioned, this is our first ever community week here in India. So we're very excited and have the honor and pleasure of really being able to connect with Mam Sumedha and Mam Preeti to really get this started. But before we really just dive into the session itself, I just wanted to share that this is one of 3 different sessions that we will be hosting. So this first session that you will be hearing from Mam Sumedha as well as Mam Preeti will be focused as an overview on the features, the benefits, and their various use cases of using Buncee. And that will be today's session, and this will be held in the language of English, but tomorrow's session will actually mirror this. But what will be different is obviously that it's actually going to be held in the language of Hindi, as our hope is that as a community, we're able to support each and every one of our community members. So the next session will actually be a mirror of what you'll see today. And then last but not least, what I'm very excited for us to be able to showcase is that we have our guest student panelists that will be joining us on the last day of our event. So on this last day, what you'll be able to see is 6 different students that have done amazing work on Buncee. But our hope is that aside from being able to hear from our teachers, our hope is that you as our community is also able to hear from the voice of our students, because what we've come to know here is that in a remote learning environment, or the fact that COVID-19 has happened, what it's forced us to rethink is the way that we're teaching and we're learning together, right? And so our hope is that as teachers, we don't actually know what the future really entails. And really, the future is really about our kids. And so our last session will be featuring several students, both in the elementary level as well as the high school level, in an effort for us to be able to hear what their voices are and what are the means that they think would actually engage them in this new world that we find ourselves in. But with that, that's exactly the session that you see over here. So I'm really excited to be able to welcome them to the stage on August 26th. So I hope you do stay tuned for us for this entire week. But I just wanted to actually share a little information about our partnership here with this event. So as participants of this event, what we're doing in partnership with the Alcon School as well as the ZP High School in Nanded is providing you all with a special access code for participating in today's session. So as long as you register on the form that will be shared at the end of the session, you'll be able to actually receive the code via email, so that you'll be able to not just listen, to our awesome presenters today, but also be able to take back those ideas and those strategies to help you bring that to your students. So with that, you'll be able to receive that access code after this session is over. But now, just to be able to get us kick-started with today's presentation, I just wanted to share that we have a few different giveaways in mind for today's event. So again, with this hope of being able for us to be able to support you as a teacher as well as your students, we have a few different giveaways in mind. So the first one is that our hope is to be able to hear from you, hear about what you're learning from today's session. So as part of the giveaway, I'm encouraging you all to share something that you've learned. So take a photo, let us know that you're here, but be sure to include at least one idea that you've taken away from Ma'am Sumedha as well as Ma'am Preeti here. Post it either to Twitter or onto Facebook, but be sure to tag Buncee, hashtag Buncee India, and tag 5 other friends that you want to be able to share what you've learned with. So that will be our first giveaway. And as a result of that giveaway, you'll actually be able to get a full year subscription to Buncee for Classroom. So we'll be selecting 5 individuals for that. So be sure to tune in for that giveaway. The last giveaway that we do have in mind is that we have a special mug for this event. So one lucky winner will actually get this Buncee swag mug. And all you need to do is that if you are camera shy, we still want you to be able to share your ideas and what you've learned from this event. So what we're encouraging for this giveaway is for you to share what you've learned on Twitter or on Facebook. Be sure to tag Buncee, hashtag Buncee India, and still tag those 5 friends that you want to be able to share your learning with. And so at the end of the day, we'll also be sharing who those winners are. So please do stay tuned for that giveaway. And last but not least, I just want to reiterate that as participants of this event, you do have the ability to receive your personalized certificate for the amazing sessions that you've been able to participate in. So at the end of today's session, you'll actually see the attendance form. And on that attendance form, you'll be able to include your name as well as the date, or the name as well as your feedback, but we'll then be able to give you your personalized certificate for tuning into today's session. And so with that, now I officially, stop sharing my screen and really pass you both the stage. I just wanted to reiterate some of the activities that we have in mind for today's session, but let me go ahead and feel free to share your screen, Ma'am Sumedha.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful surprises. Is my screen visible, Ida ma'am? Shall I proceed?
Yes, you're visible.
Okay, so I'm so excited for the Buncee Community India Week and our collaboration with the Buncee. Thank you and welcome all the participants by myself and Preeti Kanthaka ma'am. And here we are with our Buncee moments. So Buncee has given us the opportunity to create a virtual kind of setup in the remote learning atmosphere when we could not meet our learners. Buncee has given us the platform where we can give the choices to our learners, where they were the ones who have chosen that how they want to learn. The learning is not the teacher-centered, but learning happens when it is student-centered. So Buncee is the platform which helps us easily embed videos into the platform very easily. Here I have embedded one video from the National Geographic Channel on the African savannas.
Music from the sounds of nature.
So this is how Buncee helps us to be a creative teacher and produce the creative future citizens. It integrates very well into every kind of LMS system, whether it is the Teams or the Google Classroom. Also, it embeds very well with the OneNote. Talking about the various features of the platform, it helps in recording, it gives the option of tutorials, read alouds, book talks. The students can create actually masterpieces of their crafts and ideas. And talking about the digital badges, the Buncee gives a platform where the intrinsic motivation is aroused for the teachers and the students by earning the digital badges by using the platform. And here is my digital badge notebook, which I have created with the beautiful templates which Buncee has given me. I have tried to gather all my accolades, the digital badges which I have received during the pandemic situation, the different platforms which integrates very well with the Buncee. And this is how I would like to take all the educators to the wonderful platform. And let us talk about the features of Buncee. So this is the dashboard once you sign up and log in the Buncee app by going to the website app.edu.buncee.com and you log in through your Gmail ID or Microsoft ID. This is the first page that we are landed into. So on the top, I have an option of creating my classes and inviting my students to be part of the Buncee family. Here are the Buncees or the presentations which I have created. And here is a collection board, which is called Buncee board, where I can collaborate with the community, with all the stakeholders. And a very beautiful integration of Teams app is here. This is a Teams icon. So if I want to organize a meeting and meet my students, I want to teach them through the Microsoft Teams LMS, I can directly schedule a meeting from the Buncee platform without separately going to a different tab. And talking about the options here on the right hand side, here is the Ideas Lab. So this is one platform which gives lot of wonderful templates which are created by the teachers around the world, which are easy to use, and they are ready-made templates which I can pick up and integrate into my own classroom. So here, let us create the first Buncee altogether. So to create a new Buncee, I have to use this place with a plus button. Once I click on this plus button, I will be given a beautiful blank canvas. But this blank canvas will give me the opportunity to add my own spark of creativity. So once I land here in the blank canvas, I have the option of putting a template. The second option is I can add a background to my slide. And the third option, the magic button. This button I call as the magic button because once I click here, I can add text in my presentation. I can add shapes. I can draw. I can add 3D pictures. I can add animation, stickers, images, emojis. I can pick images from the web, 360 images to give a wide kind of, you can say, a graphic to my children. And also the Buncee has collaborated with various YouTube channels like Capstone, Khan Academy, Kids Khan Academy, NASA, National Geographic Kids, TED, the Met, which gives me the option of integrating so many videos into my classroom assignments. I can upload my things from my desktop, import URLs, record my own video, a lecture, take my own photograph, add frequently free response questions for my children to ponder upon, and give them a kind of a platform where they can express their thoughts freely. I can add multiple choice question, and also the QR codes of the platform can be generated and integrated into my presentations. So with this magic button, let us learn how we can create beautiful presentation with a blank canvas, which the Buncee has given us. Once I click on the template option, I have so many templates to choose from, depending upon what lesson I want to teach today to my children. And I can go to different options here. There are templates on awards and recognitions. So if I am going to design some certificates for my children, I can easily find so many certificate templates which are ready to use. I just have to insert the name of my student, and I can do lot of praise and wonders for my students. I have templates to create birthday greeting cards. In the virtual environment, even the birthdays are being celebrated virtually. So every time I have a birthday in my class, I don't have to start from the scratch. I can simply pick up a beautiful template, birthday template, add the name of my child, add an audio to it on my own voice, and simply share with my kids. So there are templates on bookmarks, there are templates on brochures, there are business cards. If you are looking for some graphic designer to make a beautiful business card for yourself, so you can make your own business card by just using the Buncee platform. We have lessons which are integrated into arts and music. We have lessons on English. So there are so many templates that sometimes I'm confused that what template should I use. All templates are so engaging and so creative that my students simply go and love Buncee a lot. There are education templates related to library, related to mathematics, related to physical education, science, social science, events, invitations. So the list is simply endless. Let us explore one of the platforms here. So let me go to English as a subject, and let us see what all templates are there which I can use as teacher and design an activity for my students. So here there are activities on reading thoughts, activities on vocabulary, Halloween, identify the adjectives and adverbs. So if I want to use this template, I want to teach adjectives and adverbs to my students, I will simply click here and I can preview the template. I can see what the teacher has designed and simply click on this blue tab, use this template. Once I click here on the use this template, so my presentation is almost ready. I can do some kind of editing and customize it according to my class needs. So let us see how we can customize it. So on the top, there is a title of the presentation. So I can rename my presentation from here. Then there are different settings. If I want to use an immersive reader, so I can put it in on mode, web accessibility, watermark. The stitching option is very good. If you have to clip the different stitches, different buncees that you have created, you can click on the stitching button. Otherwise, you can off it. Then coming on to different options in the bottom panel, I can change the background from this button. If I don't like this background, I can simply click on change background, and there will be different backgrounds which will be given to me as a teacher to explore. So as per the level of my learners and as per the content which I am creating, I can change the background. I can duplicate this page. I can delete this page. So these are the multiple options. So you just have to remember this magic button which is given here on the right hand side corner. If you click this, you can add anything to your presentation. You can add text, you can add shapes, you can draw, add 3D images, Buncee animations, Buncee stickers, anything, whatever you are looking for. So this is the presentation which I have taken as a template, and let me just show you what a wonderful presentation created by the teacher here, which is simply, I have picked it up and I can teach adjectives to my students. There is a definition, there are animations, graphics, examples of adjectives here in the presentation. So every slide is so beautifully crafted. There are exercise of the worksheets kind of thing which are added in the PPT only. You have to identify the adjectives, so the child can be given these prompts by the teacher, where the teacher is giving all the prompts in the Buncee presentation, and the child will take up this activity and deep dive into the learning of adjectives and adverbs. So this is the way you can take up the different templates from the Buncee and you can use the presentations. Now, if you are looking for, this is how you create a blank Buncee presentation by either taking the template. If you don't want to take up the template, the other option is you can add background and text as per your choice. So if I click on this button, start from scratch, I do not choose a template. I want to make my own creation. I can choose the background. So these are the different backgrounds which are available to me. The backgrounds can be also chosen from here. There are different kind of backgrounds about me. So during the lockdown period, I did not get chance to meet my students. So Buncee gave me the opportunity to use the different templates, about me templates, which I can simply pick and add to my page as a background. And I gave this beautiful activity to my students, and they have added their information in the presentation, their favorite subject, what they like buying, their favorite food, their birthday. So simply by clicking this plus button, the magic button, the text can be added, the shapes can be added. So this is how the students have done their presentations very beautifully. And that is why Buncee instills all the 21st century skills in the learner, whether it is creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and also to the extent digital citizenship, I can say. Now, if I have to assign this presentation to my students, how to do that? So once my presentation is done and I go to the dashboard, there is an option of classes. So I can invite my students to come into the Buncee platform. Once I click on this option classes, I can create a new class and assign this particular assignment which I have created to my students. I will click here on the plus button, new class. I can add a class name. So I am just adding a class name randomly, 6B. Subject is optional. So I'm adding here English and grade 6. So once my class is created, I simply click on create button, and here my class is being added. In the dashboard, I need to refresh my page to see the newly added class. Yes. So here it is, 6B. This is the class I have just created. I need to only give this code to my students to enter to the Buncee platform. So students will also log into app.edu.buncee.com, and on the screen it will be flashing there. Are you a student? Do you have a student code? And child is supposed to put that particular code which is flashing below my class name to enter to my class. Right now this class is empty because students are not there. So I can also add my students myself. One option is the class code which students can use. Other option is teacher can also add the students by mentioning the first name, the last name, the username I want to give to my child, and a password. So by adding all the students one by one, I can create a class of my own. The second option is I can add from the student list, which I already have. So this is the class list which I already have for my students who have been added into the Buncee platform for assigning the assignments. And third option is if I have a CSV file, I can import the students detail from there and add all my students to my class. So let me just show you one of the class where students are already added. So this is my class 10th E, where all the students have made so many Buncee presentations. These are the different badges they have earned. Ashish Sharda, Abhinav Chaudhary. So let us assign the assignment on adjectives and adverbs that I have just created. So I will go to the assignment tab. Next to the student tab, there is an assignment tab. And I will click on this plus this pink tab, add assignment. Once I click here, it will give me a platform where I can add a title to my assignment. So I'm writing here adjectives. A description of the activity is has to be given. So I can mention here students complete the assignment as instructed. Complete the assignment as instructed. Once the description is done, I can give the start date and the due date when the students are going to submit this. And here I have to add the Buncee which I want to allot as an assignment. And I click here. So all the Buncees which have been created by me are going to appear here. I have to give this particular adjectives and adverbs one to my class, and I simply click on add button. So I can also choose the feedback level, whether I have to give feedback to my child's work, no feedback, for 0. For 1, after submission, I'm going to feedback to my students. And the second option says instant feedback will be given to the students. So let me just put it, after submission, I want to review the work of my students and then give the feedback to them. And here is the recipients, that this assignment is going to be allotted to all the students, or I can also edit that I only want this assignment to be given to 1 student or 2 students, and I can simply click on done. Or if I want to give it to all students, I can choose all students and click on submit. So this assignment has been added here in the class. Now the child will come, open the assignment, complete the Buncee presentation, and the teacher will be able to give the feedback on the Buncee presentation as per the prompts which were given by the teacher. And that is how the student participates in the learning. Now, the next very, very great feature of the Buncee is this Ideas Lab. And it is actually a swimming pool of ideas, I can say, where educators around the world have created such insightful and enlightening lessons that I simply love it. So there are lessons on welcome parents with a back to school parent letter. There are lessons on create a virtual class rules poster, which I can give to my children. There are lessons on set class expectations, introduce yourself with all about me. You can encourage reading with a virtual bookshelf. So students will be asked to read books and then create a virtual bookshelf of their books that the children have read during a period of time, and put the small visuals and the icons of those books in the Buncee presentation. So there are so many ideas which I can use a filter from. I can simply filter the topic area. So there are lessons on app smashing, art and music, awards and certificates, English, greeting cards, interdisciplinary lessons, posters, professional development, science, social studies, summer. So let me show you one of the examples of social studies, because I am a social science educator, and that's I find very appealing projects here in the social science. So let me just choose it again, social science. And I can also choose the grade level, for which grade I'm looking for, high school. So right now it is not showing any of the subjects for high school level. Let me see for elementary school. Okay, let me choose all. Yes, so here it is. So I have even the high school for social sciences, which are not bookmarked, but I want to see all the lessons on social studies. So yes, it's loading. There are around 45 lessons on the social science topics, which I can simply use. So let us use one template and see how I can create my lesson using these templates which are available in the Ideas Lab. So this is one template available on the judicial branch. And I simply click on create it, and this Buncee is getting copying to the my Buncee library platform so that I can do the editing wherever it is required and I can customize it according to the needs of my learners. Then moving on to the second slide, this Buncee presentation is already added to my Buncee folder. I can simply check on all the slides here. So this is the first slide which gives the explanation of what is a judicial branch. This is the second slide about Supreme Court, then the judicial process. So this lesson created by other educators around the world is ready to use lesson which I can simply pick and customize it according to the needs of my learners and assign to my children to ponder upon, and then I can add some the beautiful worksheets and give that particular lesson or assignment to my class and do a kind of a discussion on the Buncee boards that we have. So Buncee board is the another feature that I really love it. Let me just show you how you can create a collection board where you can add your own idea and invite other educators and students to collaborate. So it's just like a collaboration tool where you can create one Buncee presentation and you can invite other people to join your collection. So the people who are going to share the Buncee boards with you will be visible and shared with me. You can also subscribe to some of the Buncee boards, like we subscribe to newsletters and magazines. So every time we subscribe to a Buncee board, we will be able to see the boards which have been subscribed, that which all students and educators are adding their collection to the board. So yes, let us create a new board. For creating a new board, you have to first create your own Buncee, and whatever Buncee you have created, for example, you create a Buncee where you want to know about your students, all about me. So let us give a name to this Buncee as introduce yourself to your teacher. Introduce yourself to your teacher, or just introduce yourself is also fine. And once you make this Buncee, now how to share it on the social media or to your students, or how to download it. So for that, you have to use this share tab. Once I click on this share tab, I need to do some settings here. Who can view my Buncee? Anyone with the link. Are my Buncees commentable, or are my Buncees copyable? Can other people copy my Buncee? So I can leave it copyable, I can leave it commentable, and then I have to generate a link to my Buncee. So this is the link which I have to copy and share with my students, with the parent community, with the teacher community, and show them what Buncee presentations I have created. I can embed this Buncee into a website or into another softwares. So I have to use the embed code if I want to embed it, and I have to send it to my teachers, students, and parents. I have to use the copy button. And also I can email it by adding the email IDs shared with the other Buncee users. I can put it on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, I can integrate it into Google Classroom, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I can embed it into Microsoft Teams. I can download my Buncee presentation as a PDF, or each slide of my Buncee presentation as a separate PNG file can also be downloaded. So it has a such diverse platform of sharing and downloading the presentations which you have created. So once I click on port and copy this Buncee, I can create a Buncee board out of that. So let me go to the new board option. It will ask me which board I have to create. I can give the title to my board. Introduce yourself. Here I can add a description for my students that this board has been created to know each other well. And once I click on done, this plus button asks me which Buncee you want to use as the Buncee board. So here, introduce yourself to your teacher. this Buncee I want to use to create a collection for my students and know about themselves. So this Buncee board has been created. Now I can share this Buncee board with my students by using this tab, Share with Students. I can add sections, which class I want to assign this particular Buncee to, which students maybe there is a new admission in your class and you want to assign it to only one student, two students, or all the students. So you can choose from here, or you can also create a Buncee board for your friends. So many Buncee boards have been created on the collections related to SDG goals, sharing of recipes, sharing of stories, sharing of virtual field trips. I can invite my friends to a code on Facebook. I can integrate in Google Classroom, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, email them, and also I can generate a QR code, download the QR code, and share it with my friends. So this is how Buncee has innumerable ways to collaborate with all the stakeholders, whether in terms of creating my Buncees, creating classes, having Buncee boards where I can collaborate with other people, integration of Microsoft Teams, and yes, the other excellent feature I would like to show is uh, the immersive reader feature, which I would like to show. Let me just open my Buncee presentation and show you that how the immersive reader feature helps you for all the diverse learners to be catered very well. So I need a Buncee presentation in which, okay, let me just open one of the assignments which I have allotted to my class 10 children so that I can show you the immersive reader facility and the feature which is inbuilt in Buncee. So here you can see two small icons on the top. One is the audio icon. So audio icon will read aloud the content which is being written on your presentation. And other small icon with a book is the immersive reader. So immersive reader is an inbuilt feature of the Buncee platform, which is a Microsoft feature which gives you the text preferences, that what kind of reference the child wants to read the text from. So there are preferences like I can change the size of the text, I can increase the size of the text, I can change the font style. Maybe the child is more comfortable in reading a different style. I can select the theme, the background color can be changed. If there are some language learners, diverse learners, to cater to their needs, I have this audio button where the child is too young to understand what the teacher has written here on the slide. So using this
With
audio
your fresh
button,
food from the farmers and maybe the herbs from your garden, let's make a recipe together. Include the ingredients and directions in this Buncee.
so from here, the child can read all the instructions by using this audio button. The second option I have here is the grammar option. By clicking on all these tabs, I can read the parts of speech for my students. So, and I can also teach different language grammar options using this particular facility where all the parts of speech will be visible to the child, whatever the teacher has instructed in the Buncee presentation. And the third important icon here is the reading preferences. So even the child has the option of converting this particular content into any language of his or her choice. So there are over 70 plus languages into which this content can be translated into. So let me just show you one of the two Indian languages also. So I can translate this text into Hindi, and I can just show it to my learners that yes, if you feel reading the content in Hindi, your mother tongue, your regional language, you can also translate it, and then you can go through the entire assignment. So this is how immersive reader feature makes Buncee a platform where we are catering to the needs of each and every diverse learner. So yes, here it is with the Buncee features platform and all the amazing features that you as educators are going to simply love. Now I request my co-partner, Ms. Preeti Kanthake, to come on the screen and share how Buncee uses. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sumedha. And this is really a deep dive with Buncee, which you have explored every corner of the Buncee. I think there is no doubt in viewers' mind. But if there is any question in your mind, please don't forget to drop it in inbox so that we can reach to you and solve your problems. So thank you so much, Sumedha. So now I will share my screen, and I want to share how my class, being in rural area and having no devices, but still we are exploring different tools in our school, in our classroom. Our teachers are trying to reach to every student with the help of Buncee, and we are using in a creative way to explore the different teaching methods using Buncee. So I would like to share my experience with you all. So let me share my screen first. Is it visible?
Right now, ma'am.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
No, I think it's not started yet.
Okay.
Just try once more, ma'am.
Okay.
You are facing some issue, ma'am?
Um,
Yeah,
can you
it's
see my?
starting. It's loading. Yes, it's
Yes.
loading. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So now I will show some ideas, some things which we are doing, being in a rural area and having no devices. But still, my students and my teachers, my colleagues, my friends are using, and this is how we are trying to reach to the students to explore the use of Buncee in our classrooms. So using Buncee, you can find the many ways to use the Buncee in your classroom. You can create your own portfolio, which is very useful for you to create your biodata or resume, anything, whatever you are working in, which is very useful to, and in a very useful way and very attractive way you can create in Buncee. And again, I would like to tell that you can also explore different teaching methods whenever you are working in uh, distance learning, you are using remote learning. So while teaching from distance, while teaching from online way, you have to explore the different types of teaching methods. You have to use different tools in your classroom. So while teaching like this, you had to find the ways and the different ways you are teaching. So how I am using the Buncee, I would like to share some ideas which I am using. I am using the Buncee to wish on special occasion to my friends. Whenever we are having different festivals, different occasions like birthdays and marriage anniversaries or something like that. So, and that on that occasions also you can use Buncee to wish your friends, wish your colleagues, wish your students if they are having their birthday. And also we can share our memories with our family members. If you are having some photographs, some memories of your festivals and any other occasion, you can make a collection of that pictures and you can share with your friends, with your family. So that way you can collect your memories, and this is a very beautiful way I'm using to collect my memories. And also we can have our personal portfolio, which is very useful to the students of 21st century. They have to use it time to time. They have to show their work, whatever they are their learning experience, whatever they are having, they can collect in one place. And again, I am using to explore my students work, because my students maybe some students are having, but many of the students in rural area having no mobile phones and no connectivity, no internet. So what we are doing, we are just getting to touch them, and having their work, photographs of their work, videos of the students work, and that I am collecting in the Buncee board, so that parents and teachers can enjoy and can touch get to can get a chance to touch to the students work, and have a connectivity with the students in a beautiful way, which students also like to explore their work. And then one more thing we can do, that is classroom culture board. We can when students can go from one class to another class, they can have friends, they can have they may have to left the memories in the class, back in the classroom. So whenever they are going to another class or another school, or wherever they are going, we can share their ideas, their thoughts, their good thoughts, and their poems, and anything we can collect, and classroom culture we can create in our classroom. And also I am using this Buncee to explore my students voice, by using their videos. They are singing, they are recording their voice, they are recording their thoughts, and they are sending to me, and I am just adding their voice and giving them a platform to empower the students voice in Buncee. And again, different there is a different way we can use, that is a field trip we can do. If you are going somewhere, you can just capture the video, you can just capture the photographs of that particular place, and you can add it to the Buncee in a innovative way, in a creative way. And whenever you go back to the class, you can just make a beautiful Buncee, and you can show your students as a field trip of that particular place. And where you can give that as your student for activity, for as a assignment, while they are traveling to their parents house, their grandparents house, or somewhere they are going. You can also give them like this, to that way students can get different ideas to think about, whenever whatever they can do in a beautiful way, while they are visiting some places like historical places, or some garden, even garden, where whenever they are visiting the garden, they can also capture the pictures, and they can create a field trip of a garden. And like this way you can create an entertainment in your classroom. And again, one more important thing I would like to focus, that is social emotional learning of the student, that we don't have to forget while teaching, and while giving the experience of learning to the students. Social emotional learning is very important nowadays, while we are far away from our students, we are connecting online. So every student have to get in touch with the teaching and learning process with the help of social emotional learning also. So by this by using this Buncee, we can encourage our students to say thank you, say sorry to our friend, or say wish your friend. Because my students are just 7 years old, they are just in second standard, so I'm using this way in my classroom. And though we are having the problem of connectivity, but still my students are trying to write simple messages like thank you very much to particular person, or thank you very much my teacher, or something happen in your home. If you want to thank to your parents, that also, in that case also, they are using, and by this way, with the help of Buncee, my students are building the social and emotional learning, though we are using remote learning. And one more thing, I would like to mention that creating and telling the stories by their own, this is also a beautiful platform for our students, because the students in young age, they just create some different stories in their mind, and they just want to tell to the teacher that teacher, something this happened in my home, and they just create by their own. They don't have they don't have such experiences, but still they just want to tell something to the teacher. Maybe it is horror, or maybe it is funny story, whatever. Many times we don't have time to listen to them, because as we are having the limited time in our school, but every student have to get a chance to sorry, to express their views, to express their words, to express their feelings in words. So in this way, Buncee can give a platform. uh, Buncee is giving a platform to my students to create their own stories. I just created one Buncee board, in which I have created some situation like something horror or something funny situation, and I just sent to my students, and they are creating their own stories. And day by day we are getting different ideas from different student, and they are creating the different stories by that situation. In this way we can explore the imagination and different ideas of the students, that can students can use in express their feelings. आवाज यायलाय? Reading practice also can be done with the help of Buncee, because most of the time students are hesitate to read aloud in the classroom, so we can use Buncee as for the reading practice of our students. And with the help of that, students can read with immersive reader, and that can uh, give a practice to a student to reading practice, which can happen in the with the help of this Buncee. And one more thing, last but not the least, I would like to focus that you can share the recipes. You can use it in the science. You can use it in the math subject, and give the projects to your students, and many more ideas you can use for in your classroom, so that in that way you can use in your classroom, and your classroom can enjoy the different Buncees in your uh, uh, teaching learning process. And I just want to tell that I have used it. आवाज थोड़ा कमी करा ना. I have used it in different way to explore the journey of my parents. In which way? I have told you that we are using this uh, to have a field trip with the different places. Just like this, my parents are visited Malaysia last year. So I am just used these pictures to have a field trip with my students, and again I have used it to explore my students' work, their participation in different projects, and they have traveled different countries. They have connected with different classes, and this also we have used to explore the work of my students. And again I have used this Buncee board to explore my students' work, to whatever they are doing, whatever the homework they are doing. And this way, my students are sending their pictures to me, and I am using this to send again, downloading the this page and sending again to the parents, that how their students are using this platform. And in this COVID-19 time, my students have enjoyed the playing at home, and I just collected their pictures and enjoyed with the help of this. that my students how they are enjoying at home. And just a minute. And one more thing I would like to tell, that how I am using this to explore my students' voice. अहो आवाज कमी करा. My students are using this to explore their voice. They are just singing their poems, and this way we are giving empowering the students voice in our classroom. They maybe they are so small, but still they are using and they are enjoying the way Buncee in your class in their classrooms. And also again I would like to tell that you can explore, you can have a wall to explore the creativity of your students, so that your students maybe your own kids also have get the chance to explore their paintings and their work whatever they are doing, and they can just send it to their parents, their teachers, so that teachers can get in touch with the whatever they are doing in lockdown period in the at the home. So this is some paintings of my little brother, and again the my these are some paintings of my daughter. So this way at home also my daughter is also using the Buncee, and she is also loving to explore the different ways like a culture, geography, festivals, food, and hobbies, and different Buncee board she is creating and collaborating with the with her friends to explore, to have a different projects by their own they are doing, and they are enjoying the learning with in the lockdown period. And again one more thing I would like to tell, that I have collected some pictures of my students which we have last year we have visited to Daulatabad and Delhi and Aurangabad place where my students have a school trip we are having. So this way we can collect the pictures and we can collect the memories of our school, and we can share with the parents, so that parents and other persons other uh, can enjoy the way we have a school trip on our school. And we are having the many too many ideas to explore like maths and science and everything we are having in this Buncee. So I'm finding the different uh, Buncee animations in which we can explore like 3D uh, 3D heart and 3D coronavirus and X-rays and everything that students are really getting attracted by these 3D animations, and they are using this in different projects and projects of science and maths and different projects like social studies. No subject you can find you can find the many options for your any subject in this Buncees. And this is a thank you letter, sorry letter of my students. She want to say sorry. So this way the social and emotional learning we can build of the students, so they can just say thank you, they can say sorry, they can wish their friends with the birthday cards. So these are the different ways my students are using, though we are having some problems of connectivity and everything, but still you can explore the work of your student, and you can have different ideas in your classroom. This is the one and all Buncee which you can use in your classroom, and which can give you different ideas. Just a creativity is the limit of your presentation. You can create anything you can get, and your students can also can create too many things. And I would just like to tell that this is a all in one package I have find, and we are just eager to we are just eagerly waiting to explore the different ways using Buncee in teaching and learning process. So thank you so much. And now I would like to call Ida ma'am and Sumedha ma'am on the board so that we can go to your questions. And so thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for listening me.
Well, first of all, I just want to share my thanks again. That was amazing. And I mean, if you check through the comments and scroll right through, everyone feels the same. So, as someone actually said literally that it was so well executed. So, really, it's such a pleasure for me to also just be able to hear your voice, but our audience also feels the same way. So, thank you so much for sharing both of your experiences and the detailed training. We all appreciate it. So, I did want to cover a few questions. I know we're just about on time here. So I just wanted to cover a few questions that we did receive from the group. Some of them are a little more technical in nature, but others are a little more brief. So one of which that I thought we could go through was, do you have to download Buncee, first of all? So let me just clarify that. You do not have to download Buncee. You can actually access it on the site just as Ma'am Medha had shared on her screen. So just open it on the browser, whether it's a tablet or iPad or even your laptop or standard computer device, you'll be able to open it there. The next questions that I wanted to clarify was, when you log into Buncee and you start creating your work, what happens? So basically, in terms of saving it. So just to clarify, once you create your Buncee, it's auto-saved every second, every few seconds rather. So you don't have to worry about losing your work or having to hit save and then it disappears. Every time you create the Buncee, it auto-saves. But actually, on that same note, what I'd also add to that is that as you create your Buncee, the same time what you might not know is that it's actually saved live. So every time you update that same exact Buncee and you've already shared it out to maybe your students or to other teachers, and let's say you found a typo, you can actually edit it. So it updates live. So that's another benefit. So it auto saves and it also auto updates for everyone. And then the other questions was about registration, and the last main question that we wanted to touch was on mathematics. So Ma'am Sumedha or Ma'am Preeti, if one of you can just walk someone through what the process is like to actually just register for your account, as well as maybe if you want to take a moment to share, how you can use this in math subject areas. You can maybe pull from Ideas Lab too.
Sure. I'm just sharing my screen again. Let me just take you to the Buncee dashboard. And if as a maths teacher, is my screen visible, Ida ma'am?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you. So as a maths teacher, let me show you what all templates you can use as a background, as a template, as in the Ideas Lab. So this is the place where you have to search for the various templates. Here you can see there are so many templates in different categories which you can choose from. And let me come down and show you specifically how you can use as a maths teacher. So there is a tab called Maths in Education. Different templates related to different subjects can be found in this particular area. Here I have some templates which have been created for maths teachers. So if I am teaching addition and subtraction to my children and I want to assign this worksheet to them, or I can also take up this worksheet in the virtual classroom by just sharing my screen and not assigning it, I can use this template. So similarly, there are so many hundreds of templates which you can have for different subjects. So you can share your screen the way I'm doing it right now, and you can ask your learners that whether the addition icon will come here or the subtraction icon will come here. And for adding those icons, you can choose this magic button as I told you. Click here, choose the text box option. So a text box will appear here. You can reduce the size of the text box as per the space that you have. Double click inside it, and then it is ready for the editing part. So you can, a cursor has appeared there. You can put the plus button there, increase the size by choosing this and going to the tab below and increase the size of your plus button. Adjust this. So this drag and drop option in Buncee is very easy to use, so that you can adjust your content as per the size of your slides. You can change the color, make it more beautiful. So you just have to place it properly by choosing this particular tab. So the adjustment can be done by the teacher according to the space which is given here. You can increase the size again, and this is how you can use this plus option. And this is how maths teacher can use different type of worksheets which are available here from the templates. Or you can go to the ideas lab and also search for the different maths lessons which have been created by educators around the world. So here in the filter topic area, I will choose mathematics as a subject. So let me choose maths here, and there are different grade levels for which I can choose a maths lesson from. These are the lessons which have been created already. Practice math skills, practice decimals and fractions. So let me show you this one, a lesson which has been created to teach decimals and fractions. So here this Buncee is getting copied into my Buncee account, so that I can edit it and use it for my classroom. So these are the two templates which are already developed by the teacher. The directions are already given. There are different options, different presentation tools, multimedia. There is a number line which can be used. There is a second slide which is also being added. And as a third slide, you can click on this blank canvas, and either you can stitch a clipping of the slide from the previous Buncee, or add another screen to it, and you can create your own worksheets also on mathematics. So here I can choose this plus button, go to the YouTube channel, and there are many Khan Academy videos which you can directly take from the Buncee in integrated YouTube channel. So there are videos on decimal introduction, divide decimals. So if I want to show this video to my students, I will select this video, add, and this video will get added to my blank canvas. I can increase the size of my screen, and once I come to the review mode, so there will be a tab in which I can play the button, and I can show that particular video to my children either by sharing my screen, or you can assign this particular chapter assignment to your class. So here the video will play.
So I have a number written here. It's a 2, a 3, and a 5.
So this is how for maths teachers also, Buncee has plethora of activities using the templates and using this ideas lab button. So for the other question which Ida ma'am has asked, that how to sign up for this platform. So let me just
actually, Samantha, before you log out, unless you already clicked it, but while you have the other Buncee, if you want to just pull up of how to share Buncee, because we have a few questions about what are the different ways to share Buncee, as well as one that they're looking for either one of your recommendations of what is the best way for you to share Buncee in your opinion.
Okay, sure, thank you. So once you log into buncee.com, you will be taken to a platform app.edu.buncee.com, and this is the first page that you see. So here there are many options of discovering more about Buncee. You can read Buncee blogs, you can request a demo for yourself, you can attend free PD sessions, the webinars which occurs twice or thrice in a week. You can know about Ideas Lab, you can read about features, Buncee blog, you can read about how you can take Buncee for the entire school. So this particular page, on the right hand side, you can see there is an option of login and sign up. So if you are a new user, you have to sign up. If you are existing user, you have to use login button. So once you sign up, you see here that there are different pricing details which are given over here for premium, for classroom, for schools, for districts. So you can click here, get started for free, this pink tab. Once you click on get started for free, So it will ask you that which email ID you would like to use to log in into the Buncee dashboard. Either you can create a new email ID for specifically for Buncee, or you can continue with your Gmail ID using this Google tab, or even if you have a Microsoft ID, you can use Microsoft ID also to log in. So here I am continuing with Google. Once I choose that, so whatever Gmail accounts I have in this particular platform, it is going to ask me that to log in using that particular ID. I can choose a particular ID and it will take me to the Buncee dashboard from where I started first. And these are the different creativity challenge which are being organized on weekly basis, where students and teachers can participate and earn lot of digital badges for them, thus enhancing their own creative skills and also mastering the art of digital citizenship. Another feature which I have forgotten is creating folders in Buncee. So whatever Buncees you are creating, you will put them, sort them out in nice folders. So this is how I have created folders of my Buncees for my projects which are being done by my son, my daughter, my morning meetings, birthday celebrations that I do virtually for my students, professional development, my assignments that I do with my class 9th, class 10th, my Twitter chats. So all the Buncees are sorted out by using this new folder option. I can give a folder name and depending upon what Buncees I have created. For example, if I have lot of Buncees for the birthday celebrations that I'm creating for my family, for my students, I can make a new folder. And by clicking on here, I can simply put a tick mark and then move these Buncees into whichever folder I want to put. So this is one way of sorting out your Buncees very nicely. It looks very organized. Now the next question which Ida ma'am has just asked me,
Yeah.
go to
The
that.
last The last
Yes.
question was about sharing a Buncee. If you want to just open up the share
Yes.
panel.
So this Buncee which we have just created for the maths topic, fractions one, and I want to share this Buncee with my students without adding my students to the class, to the Buncee class. So here on the top, there is a share button. I click here on this share button. So these are the different ways I can share this Buncee. First of all, I have to do the settings of my Buncee. Who can view this Buncee? Anyone with this link? Anyone? Specific Buncee user or only me? So by doing this particular setting, I can make it commentable if I want. I can make it copyable. And once all the settings are done, then I have to generate a link for this Buncee. Once I click here on the code option, it gives me a link. I simply have to copy this link and paste this link in the WhatsApp group or the email, or maybe it is in the Teams chat window or Zoom chat window. So whatever LMS platform you are using for the for teaching of the class virtual classes, any platform, there you can in the chat window simply go and paste the link of your Buncee. Or the other option is you can email it, you can send it as an email by entering the email ID of the teachers or the students. The other option is shared with Buncee users. So all the users which are existing Buncee users, whether you are sharing it with your class or the teachers or other Buncee users, you can click here and add their Buncee username. You can share the Buncee on social media, so it will directly embed into your Twitter, your Facebook, Google Classroom, LinkedIn, Teams, Pinterest, or the other ways you can download it as PDF and then share it as an attachment. So this is how the Buncee can be shared in myriad ways according to the need of the person. Any other questions, Sida ma'am?
No, it looks like we covered it all. So thank you so much to both of you for taking the time to really just share all of your thoughts, your experiences, and like I said, the ideas. And before we close off with the last sort of items for the session, is there anything else that you both would like to share with our group here?
Yeah, so I would like to say that Buncee in India is a term which is used in Hindi as a flute of Lord Krishna. So this one message I want to give to all the teachers and participants here, that like Lord Krishna used Buncee for spreading the love, and in that love and melody, all the people used to deep dive. So Buncee is a platform which has given us the opportunity to bring our all learners and educators into a platform where we all are deep diving, and nobody wants to go out of that. We are simply into the world of dreams where I can spark the creativity of my learners, I can spark my own creativity, and whatever my learners visualize, I can make it possible with the Buncee. So thank you so much for giving us this beautiful digital edtech tool, Buncee. This is the last remark I would like to give to all the educators and participants, that it is a wonderful presentation tool. You must be part of the Buncee family, and then you will realize that what power it has given to your creativity and your presentation. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Honestly, thank you for such amazingly kind words, really. For me, it's such an honor for me to be able to just be able to work with educators just like yourself, because, we all have such different experiences, which is partially the goal of today's, week, right? Where we're able to bring our own perspective so that we can help support any of our students wherever they are. So really, thank you so much for everything. And, a platform is one thing, is what I normally think of it, but it's the way that a teacher can deliver that with their students that really is what transforms everything. So it's really that collaboration between us that, makes a difference. So thank you for those kind words. And yeah, Preeti, I noticed that you unmuted, so I'd love for you to share anything else you'd like.
No, nothing. I just want to thank you again for the team Buncee for cooperating and giving such an amazing tool. And I'm really thankful for the team Buncee for giving the tool for the students. Though we are having a rural area, having no access to the internet and having no devices, but still there is a chance to explore your work, to use it in your classroom in a different way. So this is really amazing tool, and I just want to request each and every teacher, those who are working in rural area also, so you will find something in this Buncee. So just try to use it, and if you have any question, we are always there to help you. So thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. And that brings a great point too. What's the best way for our educators to connect with you both moving forward? So we do have another session tomorrow, but what is a best way to connect, whether Twitter, Facebook, or email?
Yes, so educators can connect us on the Twitter. I will share my Twitter handle in the chat box with everyone. So please do connect with us. And tomorrow we are going to have a wonderful presentation in Hindi so that we connect with all the diverse language users in India, our own mother tongue. And that will be a great session. So we request you all to please join us tomorrow and also inspire and motivate your learners and also your parents community to join us and deep dive into the Buncee. Thank you.
No, thank you. And so just to bring it to a close, because I know that we're a little over time here, I just want to share, yes, on the bottom of my screen here, you'll be able to see the certificate form. So please do register on that form. It's a bit.ly/Buncee India 0824. This will give you the benefit of getting your certificate, but also that extended access code that I mentioned in the beginning of the session. In addition to that, I just wanted to talk a little bit what our sort of next steps here in terms of the rest of this week. So tomorrow, as Mams Mehta here had mentioned, we do have our follow-up session where we'll dive into a little more of a training, but now instead held in the language of Hindi. So our hope is, again, to be able to support any sort of educator wherever you are. And so please do tune in for that session. And last but not least, stay tuned for the August 26th session, where I'm really excited to be able to share, the communication with our students and have the opportunity to hear their voice and their ideas, so that we also know how to better engage moving forward in this new world of education that we find ourselves in. And then last but not least, the giveaway winners. So if you did tune into any of our giveaways that we had shared in the beginning, sharing your ideas, everything that we've learned from Ma'am Sumetha and Ma'am Preeti here, stay tuned. We'll be announcing it also on Twitter as well as on Facebook. So we'll do that in probably the next 2 hours. But yeah, we're really excited for everyone. Thank you for your time and for joining in. And so with that,